Jeff and Jeremy, it's KZOZ 747. Yeah, the first game of the 2017 season is in the books.
And the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the National Football League.
1-0, undefeated.
It's all about overreactions in the National Football League, right? I'm glad they brought it up at the end of the game last night. They're talking about the overreaction 2 years ago when the Kansas City Chiefs beat the New England Patriots on Monday Night Football. And everybody was like calling for a quits to Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And then they went on and won the Super Bowl that year against the Seattle Seahawks. And
they should have lost, but
they should have, but they
gave
won.
It to them. They gave it to them,
but they won. And it's funny how people overreact. I'm glad they highlighted that. Because we can sit here and say, oh, the Kansas City Chiefs are amazing. But come on. Was that the Alex Smith that we all know and love last night? No.
Well, fans, live and breathe with their heart when it comes to their team. So, and then the media feeds off that. And if you're, a sports writer, what do? You got to make something dramatic happen.
Especially in Boston, too. You got to consider the source.
This, to me, is the biggest non-story in the National Football League, and that is who is the most likable NFL player.
Do you want your players, the players?
How is Russell Wilson not on this list?
That is the biggest story of the non-story to me, because the top 10, Russell Wilson's nowhere to be found. Whereas if you ask me, being a Seattle Seahawks fan, who's the most liked person in the NFL, I would say probably Russell Wilson. Larry Fitzgerald ranks as the highest on the E-poll that was conducted that took into consideration NFL players by their appeal. They took awareness, how dynamic the player was, and I don't even know what that means, and how exciting they were, and they worked it out into equation to figure out the appeal rating of the...
So dumb. Okay, J.J. Watt's number 2. How is he not number 1 after raising $20, $30 million? I don't know what it is at now, but over $20 million for hurricane, victims down in Houston.
I don't know. Right now, I would think that J.J. Watt leads the way on that one. But Larry Fitzgerald has done a lot of charitable things over the course of his career, and they're thinking that is why he ranks highest in the NFL players.
Great receiver.
By appeal.
Had him on my team back-to-back years, 2-3 years ago.
And he doesn't
Firestone guy, right? He drives the truck in the Firestone commercial.
Yeah, but he doesn't complain. He's not a complainer. He just goes out and he does good. And when he makes a dynamic catch, he doesn't sit there and celebrate, and it's all about him, which many receivers do. He just goes about his business, and I think a lot of people respect him for that.
I mean, Drew Brees, okay, super nice guy. I believe he should be in the top 4 or 5. Jordy Nelson, I don't know why. Derek Carr, really?
I don't know why Jordy
Brown,
Nelson's on
Von
this list
Miller,
either.
Aaron Rodgers. What? Because he's got a mustache sometimes, and sometimes he doesn't? For God's sakes, he had to break up with his girlfriend because he didn't like her family. Dak Prescott.
No, she didn't like his family.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Get it right.
Okay. But she broke up with him. He didn't break up with her.
And she broke up his family.
Yeah, so he's what is he? Some kind of, just a little wuss. I mean, he just lays
Aaron
down.
Rodgers got the highest awareness score of anybody on this poll. He was the most noted person on this poll.
Just can't double check.
His dynamic, which is I guess the dynamic rating has to do with on-field performance, was pretty low, and his exciting rating was pretty high because he has thrown a couple Hail Marys.
We're asking you, which NFL player do you like the most? Why do you like them?
We just can't escape it, can we? He hasn't even been in the league for I think 3 years now. Tim Tebow. David writes in, he says, Tim Tebow's the best player ever. Different style of play, but excellent attitude.
No, what?
Here's the thing. He's not an NFL player.
Yeah, and he pretty much was kicked to the curb. I mean, nobody wanted him.
He's not an NFL player. Now, if you want to say best minor league baseball player, or which minor league baseball player do you like the most, then you could say Tim Tebow. But you can't say Tim Tebow for NFL player. We're asking you what NFL player you like the most and why do you like them?
Go ahead, man.
Well, I was just thinking about that poll, and like the reason that Russell Wilson isn't at the top is because he's considered like the cheesiest, most nicest guy.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that too. And I'm a Seahawks.
You mean he's not selfish enough?
I'm a Seahawks fan. He's just
correct. He doesn't have enough swag about him.
Yeah,
he doesn't have 15 Ferraris.
Yeah.
He answers every question correctly. It's just there's nothing exciting about.
I can see how that would be annoying to other players.
Except for his play.
This guy's making us all look bad.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, though. Who do you think is?
Probably someone like Von Miller or Antonio Brown because they just are exciting. All other players like to watch those guys play.
All right. Thank you for the call. But what do they do outside of, to be like the NFL's most...
Whatever, to be likable.
What was the title again?
Whatever.
Most likable player.
Yeah, not the best player.
Look at... me and my brain farts. The guy that plays for the Giants, he's the receiver. He's
Odell Beckham
Jr. Great receiver, right? Mm-hmm. Amazing. One-handed catches the whole thing. Not amongst
the most liked.
Why isn't he liked? He's a fantastic, exciting player.
He got beat up by a kicking net. If you get beat up by a kicking net, you can't be liked by anyone,
oh, God. I love that you just brought that back up. I forgot that last year. In the playoffs, he kicks the damn thing and hits him in the head. Oh, my Lord.
If you get beat up by the kicking net, then you're not liked.
It doesn't make sense to us, Larry Fitzgerald. I understand if you're in Arizona, maybe does a lot of charity work in Arizona.
Ask mainly fans in the greater Phoenix area because we just
Southwest, maybe?
The list, as it reads out, Larry Fitzgerald, number 1, J.J. Watt, number 2, Drew Brees, 3, Jordy Nelson, 4, Derek Carr coming in at number 5, which is a bit of an odd pick there as well. Antonio Brown, Von Miller, Aaron Rodgers.
What kind of wuss is Aaron Rodgers, sucker?
Dak Prescott.
His girlfriend hates his family, and then she breaks up with him and makes him look like some sort of sucker.
Robbie Gronkowski, who had one catch for, I think, 18 yards last night.
Yeah, his last 2 years sucks. He was my tight end last year, terrible. He had injured, and then when he came back, he did nothing, and it was just...
How do you think the guy feels that took Rob Gronkowski in the fantasy football draft before taking Kareem Hunt in the football draft last night?
I think his name is Jeffrey Wiesinger. He is the macaroni and cheese champion, two-time champion.
Who took Rob Gronkowski?
Yeah, and he looked at me and he goes, "Yeah, I know you wanted Gronko." No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I really wanted Travis Kelce or Greg Olsen.
I treat Gronk in fantasy like the STD that he is in real life.
And we got a guy here. Go ahead, man. What do you want to say?
The GOAT is the guy that is saying Aaron Rodgers was the wussy, is the thing. Hey, man, that just made him go up like 10 notches. When you tell me that he broke up with someone because they didn't like his family.
No, you missed it. You missed it.
Broke up with him?
She broke up with him. Yeah, so he was...
Okay, so she broke up with him. It didn't work out because he didn't like his family. That I like the guy. And also he's humble. There's the other guy on that team that's also from... So he's from NorCal. He's a Northern California guy. There's the other guy, the blonde guy with the long hair that likes to wave his hair around and is real flamboyant.
Clay Matthews, yeah, he acts like a
Fabio
world wrestling competitor. Yes,
that dude I absolutely hate because of how he is. And Rodgers is humble, and also why is he likable? I mean, okay, the mustache thing or whatever, he wins games. That makes you very likable, man. We like winners.
You say that Aaron Rodgers is very humble, and there's two things that make me agree. I agree with you that he is, except for two things that he has done. One is that he's a big wrestling fan, so he does that stupid world
discount double check.
Yeah, the discount double check dance in the end zone whenever he scores a touchdown.
Very annoying.
That's not very humble. And then also...
Not humble at all, actually.
What do you want him? You want him to take a knee?
No.
What do you want him to
I want
do,
him to act like he's been there before, because he has been there many times before. Yeah. But what I really didn't like is when he tried to diss another likable player in the National Football League, in Russell Wilson, when the Green Bay Packers defeated the Seattle Seahawks, and he said, well, it looked like God is a Packers fan tonight, because Russell Wilson, who professes his faith on a regular basis, said that, God was just with us tonight when they came back in that historic NFC Championship game, and they came back from the depths of defeat. The depths of defeat.
That was disrespectful to the Lord.
It was. It looks like God was a Packers fan.
You're making a joke about it.
It made him seem like a dumb upper Midwest hillbilly.
What does that really say about a guy that would take the Lord's name like that and just trash it?
I don't think he was thrashing it.
I don't think he's humble.
I respectfully disagree. What he was saying was tonight God was on our side.
No, he wasn't. No, he was not saying that.
He was pointed directly at Russell
slap
Wilson.
In the face.
It was snark. It was full-on snark. He even smirked when he said it.
Yeah.
So
Snarky
you can't tell me
bastard.
that he is humble because he thinks he's a funny guy in a
Okay,
a snarky way.
I changed my position. You're both the GOAT today because you're from the Midway, from the Pacific Northwest. Both.
That's God.
Unfortunately,
that was God right there taking him out.
It looks like today.
Was that a lightning bolt? What happened there?
It looks like today God was a Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning fan. And you know what? I've got an Aaron Rodgers smirk on my face as I say that.
Seriously, though. Ow. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. 93.3 KZOZ rocks.
Got Matt just walking into the studio. Matt Cross.
Good morning.
Matt Cross Music, Guitar Circus, Matt Cross Band. What's the name of the band? The Wailers? I forget the name.
Yeah,
That's
Bob
it,
Marley.
the Wailers.
Bob Marley.
It's close.
The one-night band.
He took
Not
It's
close
not even
at all.
close. Yeah, no, there's nothing close about it.
he took Bob Marley's spot. He's like, I could
We're
go
the
ahead.
Wailersing.
Yes. Steve's in from Woods. He's here every Friday. We're going to talk about a pet coming up here in a little bit and Wingfest.
We're going to stop talking about the NFL.
Yeah. No, we're done with that. We're done with that. We don't need to. There's nothing else to say.
No, actually, no. This is actually a good question to ask both these guys because Matt could give two craps about football. He doesn't know anything
my
about
saddest
football.
time of year.
Can I tell you one of the best?
How is it that you just never got into football?
Like at all. Like when you guys, I was listening. I turned the radio this morning in the kitchen when making breakfast for the girls, and they're like, "Daddy, what are they talking about?" I'm like, "I have no idea." It's just to me, it's just.
it's going to be my mission to bring this guy to the dark side.
My favorite Matt
and
Cross.
screw up 17 weeks of his life.
My favorite Matt Cross moment of all time was when Tim Walsh was in here and he was filling in for you because your stepdad had gotten in that accident last year and you had to go up to Pacific Northwest for an extended period of time. So he's filling in for you. And Tim Walsh sees Matt, who looks like a football player.
Yeah. He's
built,
like, hey, you play any ball?
he's built like a football player.
Yeah, I play tennis.
So Tim Walsh stops talking to me when it gets really into the.
Like we're getting just some serious sports analysis.
It was like X's and O's of football, So he stopped looking at me and talking to me.
He starts looking at Matt.
Started looking at Matt and talking to Matt.
Like you would know what's up.
And
I was just like,
and Matt's just sitting there nodding his head, and I'm cracking up laughing.
that was the one time I was thankful for, right? And then he pulled his tag, and he pulled it left, and the guys we had to play. I'm like, right? You're telling me, man.
It was awesome. But I got to ask you the question, okay? What NFL football player do you like the most? Because, and I'll give you a second, I'm gonna stall for you here. When I got home from the fantasy football draft the other night, my wife goes, "Who'd you get on your team?" And I said, I went through and I listed off all my players.
You're a deep guy.
And she's like, "I've not heard of any of those guys. You're not going to do very well." I'm like, "I'm going to do fine, okay?"
First guy that went for you last night got over 40 points.
47 points of Kareem Hunt, okay?
So,
I'm not sure I can name somebody in the NFL.
you can name one person. Give me
my
one
wife-
NFL
my
player's
wife-
name.
Are we talking about current
Yeah,
players?
current NFL.
yeah.
All time, I got to.
Yeah, no, just
O.J.
a current
Simpson.
player. The juice.
Jerry Rice, Tony Dorsett. We're going all time.
We're saying current.
What's
Name one football player that's playing.
Kaepernick. Because he's the one who's always getting in trouble. He's not in the league anymore, is he?
He's not
Yeah,
playing.
he's in the league, but he's just
No, he's
not
not
on a team.
He's not.
Well, he's not on a team, but he's still in the NFL, right?
He's available.
Sony Romo.
Who won the Super Bowl last year?
Not in the league
Oh,
anymore.
that was the Patriots.
Yes, and who's their quarterback? I know I can walk you through
Oh, come on. What's his name? The guy, he's married to Giselle.
this. Yeah, you're right about that. He knows Giselle's
How
name.
do you forget that? What's his name? He always wears goofy
Bill?
goofy heads.
Bill?
Bill what?
Chuck.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, right? That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of at all.
Who's the most what NFL football player do you like the most?
I couldn't name two people.
That's crazy. That is just crazy to me. My wife could name more
Yeah.
NFL football players.
Literally,
No,
than
your
you,
daughter
a
could
man.
name more football
Yeah.
players.
She
She's
knows-
4 years old.
She knows Russell
Can we get her
Wilson.
on the phone?
Football steals my income. I instantly get gigs canceled. You're not playing here on Mondays anymore. You're not playing here on Sundays anymore. Thursday nights are out here. We don't need you. Everybody wants to watch the game.
I have a new game that we're going to do.
Fantasy pet league.
No, we're going to bring you in.
I want to start it with Steve and you pick your favorite cat. With whoever gets adopted first, you get bonus points.
That's a
We're
good
going to bring
idea.
you in to do
That's a
NFL
great
trivia
idea.
every week. All people have to do is beat Matt at NFL trivia, and they win.
It's going to be really hard.
This week, we're going to start with Jeff's 4-year-old daughter, and we're just going to see how many people she can name.
I'm pretty sure Poppy could take me at NFL trivia.
So how many did you name?
2, maybe?
No.
I named like 4 of all-time players.
No, current players.
No, I think I named 2. Well,
Colin Kaepernick, who's not playing.
Okay,
He's
no,
not- yeah, he's not playing.
well, with your help, no, I didn't name any. You guided me to the one I knew his wife.
That's funny.
Hello?
Hey, I was Poppy gone to school yet?
No, she's standing right with me.
Oh, no.
Is she
It's
going
on.
to school at all today? I know-
Yes, she is.
Okay.
She's brushing her teeth, and then we're loading up.
Can you just put her on the
no.
phone for a quick second?
Yes.
Oh, no.
It's Matt and Poppy.
Listen,
don't get me
I
wrong.
once- listen,
I will lose this.
Let
I
me
have
tell you
no
something.
problem with losing.
The most
it.
embarrassing moment of my life was getting beat by an 8-year-old in a spelling bee.
Good morning, Poppy.
On the radio.
How you
That
doing?
happened too for me.
This is going to happen to you right now.
Good
How
morning.
you doing, Daddy?
I'm doing good. Can you name who's your favorite football player?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. Good job. Good job.
You just beat.
Wasn't he a comedian?
40-year-old
Wasn't he a
man.
comedian in the 70s? Russell Wilson? Didn't he do like a whole like?
Flip Wilson. Have a
Flip
fun day.
Wilson, that's right.
How are you feeling?
Better.
Okay. Have a fun day at school,
That's the
sweetie. I
cutest
love
thing
you.
ever.
Love you. Love you.
Okay. Bye.
That's
Bye,
true,
Poppy.
it's true love.
Brush those teeth. Thank you. Thank you, Lindsay.
That's so funny.
My girls don't even know what football like. They have no concept of like
42-year-old man. Ask him who his favorite.
You know this doesn't
football
embarrass
player-
me at all. Like,
Football player
at all.
is.
No, it's just
who
ridiculous.
His favorite football player is 42-year-old man. Tony Dorsett,
That might be my all time. I got to carry his helmet once when I was a kid.
Jerry Rice,
Joe Montana.
Marshall Falk.
He's still around.
4-year-old girl.
Yeah, sorry. We were going to ask you, but we just ran out of time, Steve.
I can't pick a favorite.
I know your favorite.
Who do you think the most likable NFL player is? Think about that. All right.
O.T. Wilson.
8:33.
93.3 KZOZ rocks. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.